my gosh. Hello. Welcome into a Big Fraud Thursday. I mean, it's actually been going on for quite some time. But it's, my day, the way my day works, the way it's divided out is it's like 2 different days. A nice little cat nap in between the shows. That's working out pretty great, I must admit. Because, God, it's just remarkable to me. Once there's this one dead spot in the day where, like, everything starts to get foggy with me. At least that's been the norm lately, and I'm not sure why. But holy shit! Like I'm sitting here. It's usually in the 1 o'clock hour, 1 o'clock Eastern time hour. All right. By the way, new person in here. Does everybody behave? This is Jeremy K. K-O-S-S Koss. I don't know why I just didn't just say Jeremy Koss. Jeremy Koss is brand new. In fact, just reached out. I was reading you that dialogue that we had about how he kind of got turned out of the Patreon through Who Are These Free Beers? And so there you go. So fantastic. Thank you very much. But yeah, I don't know what it is. Right around 1 o'clock hour, I'm sitting here and the simplest, most mundane things seem like the most arduous chores. Like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to do this. I'm so exhausted. So then I go, this is when a little child, like a little baby, gets fussy like that, they cry. Okay? And then you put them down and they go to sleep. My puppy dogs here, when they get fussy, especially Darla and also Bruce, when they get tired, they look at me and go, ugh. So I'm like, you or I, most of us, except for Kenny, have the ability to mask that. We can just kind of like put on a happy face and act like we can override it. Okay? But I could do that too, but I was like, God damn it. I just want to put my head down. And fuck. It's like the last few days when I wake up from it, I actually don't know where I'm at. Or what, I mean, I know where I'm at, but I'm like, wait a minute, how did I get here to this point in time? What? Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah. I took a nap. Aha. Yes. My God. But starting to really kind of drive home and put a finer point on what will be tonight, a very eventful Big Fraud Thursday. The lineup starts at 6:15 with Who Are These Free Beers? And then after that, we will segue nicely into the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. Jeremy, if you don't know, oh my God, this poor guy. He writes, I've been working since 2:45 in the morning, literally just pulled into my driveway. I definitely feel a nap coming on after the Patreon show. Absolutely. Take us to bed with you. Lay your sweet little head down. Watch this. Take your little nappy poo, and then we'll reconvene today at 6:15 for Who Are These Free Beers? Now, in case you don't know, Jeremy, the way we do this is Who Are These Free Beers is live, but it's just Ben and I. And then afterwards, when we get into the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, I sent a link. All right. I posted it for Tier 2 members only. It's just a Zoom link. And that way, you are part of the audience. You're like live on. It looks like you can see all our faces. It looks like a typical Zoom meeting while we do the show. And it's great fun. So don't be a stranger. Don't be shy. The group is amazing. There's probably only, I would say, because there's 99 people who are on Tier 2. Of the 229, I was 230 yesterday, but I lost one. So I'm back down to 229. Of those people, 99, of the 229, 99 have Tier 2 membership. So you are in elite company. Thank you for that. Chris D says, I'm 24 miles into my run. Wait a minute. What? Flipping exhausted. LOL. Was excited to see you go live. Help make last 2 miles go by quick. Hey, can I call you right now as I'm talking to you? Since you have the phone, is that going to mess you up? I didn't realize you're running a marathon. What? Huh? Or is this a training run? I didn't realize this was the thing you were working on right now. Tell me more. All right. Just say, can I just answer yes or no? Can I call you yes or no? And if you say no, that's totally fine. My God. Kenny writes, you know what? I think we need to stop for a moment and recognize something special about Jeremy. His first time here, and he didn't need special instructions to get to the YouTube chat. Isn't that awesome? The dogs are fighting behind me. This might be an issue. O'Neill is not, because he's just chill. Hey, no, come on. Okay. Hey, no, stop. Let's rest. Don't sniff her vagina. No. Jeremy says, I'm a millennial, not an old man like EZ and everybody else, Kenny. I'm not a millennial. Okay, good. I'm glad. Let's see what the hell Chris is doing here. Reach out. I got your, I think I have your phone number. Okay. Wait a minute. Maybe I don't. I could have swore I did have your phone number. Oh. Well, nevertheless, yeah, I guess send me your damn email or send me your damn phone number. I could have swore I had your number. I don't know why I thought I did. That's weird. What the hell are you doing? Running a goddamn marathon. Eric, okay, let's see what Kenny writes. Eric used to email me, and whenever the new person was, whoever the news person was, and asked me to explain it to them. Oh, yeah. It was remarkable. Kenny had it down. Hey, stop. Jesus. Young Adam Schwab says, I was one of the people Kenny helped back in the day. That Kenny actually is pretty helpful, if you think about it. There's a lot of great qualities to Kenny. I'm feeling, you see, since I took that nap, not being crabby at all, now all I want to do is be loving and sweet to someone like Kenny, who's, I shouldn't say someone like Kenny. I make it sound like he's, an idiot or retarded or something like that. He's not. No, he's all right. He's good. He's good. Fighting the fight, losing the weight. Yeah, I don't know how long I can let this dog brawl go between them. All right. Chris sends me his phone number. That's Chris from the Michigan Rangers. I have a question or two about that as well. I see your number.
Hello?
Mr. Chris, how are you?
Good. How are you doing, Zane?
Not bad. Is this a training run or an actual race?
So it's actually our youth teams have games on Saturday and Sunday of next week. And I've got signed up for a race on Sunday. But if they win, then I can't do the race. So I'm doing this in case.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, yeah. Basically, you don't want to lose the training day?
No, I'm trying to do a marathon a month, and if one of our younger teams, if they win next Saturday, I'm unable to do a race on Sunday. So.
Okay. I didn't realize, is that a goal for the year then?
Yeah, yep.
I didn't know you were doing this. This is very exciting to actually hear this. Is there like a, is this the thing that I saw in my email? It's a charity?
No.
Okay, separate.
Yeah, separate. Yep.
Wow. Not ignoring you, but I just, it's been keeps slipping off my radar. I apologize for that.
No, you're fine. I just have to.
Yeah.
That's actually for the men's team that you're going to be helping out with.
Yeah. Well, that's it. All works out. It all works out. That is. Hey, by the way, thank you for reaching out to me for that. I know we're going to do great together, working together. I can't wait to publicize the team and talk about them, and that comes with it. Doing the PA work for you guys. That's all carte blanche for you, and in terms of promoting the soccer league, so that more people can check it out and have fun with it.
Absolutely, and we're excited to kind of promote that you'll be there. Like I said, I think I was emailing you.
Yeah.
Before you, it was just a parent who had a really good voice, so it worked out. But
Sure.
actually, to have someone who's decent at it, we're excited, and I think everyone knows who you are. So I told the boys in training yesterday, and they're like, "Oh, he was the one on Free Beer and Outwings, right?"
Oh my God, that's awesome. Well, okay, so how are the legs? Almost 25 miles in.
Good. Yeah, 25.2 right now. Yeah, doing well.
Oh my God, dude! I love your strength. That's not easy. That's not easy sledding. Good for you. Keep it up, man. I'm so. How old a guy are you? About 35?
32.
32. All right. Okay, keep it up. I didn't. How old were you when you started running?
I started during the pandemic.
Okay, so prior to the pandemic, this was not on your radar.
No, I was still playing. So.
Holy shit! Oh my God, you're so strong. Well, good for you, buddy. Keep it up, and just keep your eyes on the prize. My God, one marathon a damn month is fantastic. Good for you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for calling.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
I'll see you.
There you go. That is Chris D. Just a phenomenal bit of strength right there. He's running while we're talking to him. I can't do that. I do get jealous when I see people running all the time, and I'm like, oh God, I used to really like doing that, and I can't anymore, and that's bothersome. This past year has been a real kick in the balls when it comes to feeling my age. With the arthritis, with the prostate enlargement, with the grotesque face. It's horrible. My God. Darla is now in a fight with herself on her back. You can see her legs flipping in the air. Bruce is nowhere near her. Jeremy, new guy Jeremy, says 25.3 miles. Nowadays, I'm lucky if I can run 25.2 feet. Rob G, Blue State Rob, writes, need Mortal Kombat combat music for this dogfight. God, I fucked that up. Kenny says he's doing something I currently cannot do, nor would I have ever been able to do in the past. LOL. I would just collapse and die. Well, it just takes training. No one can just go out and run. Stevie says, I do too, Eric. Really, I really miss running, but my feet are too messed up. Oh my God, but they're so hot. Rob says, running for the sake of running miles is just barbaric. Never enjoyed it at all. I think I'd rather give myself a prostate exam. You're not kidding. So I've been following the story about the Boeing whistleblowers. 3 are now in the wild. 2 of them are dead. Of course, the planes have been falling apart, like in the sky, like doors blowing off of them. And the company that is the largest parts manufacturer for Boeing jetliners is a company called Spirit Aero Systems. The first two people that blew a whistle on them, the first guy mysteriously killed himself, though no history of mental illness, no concerns by the family, just all of a sudden he killed himself. 3 weeks later, the next whistleblower suddenly got some crazy virus and died. The next whistleblower is still alive for now. His name is Santiago Paredes. He is a quality inspector for Spirit Aero Systems. He is speaking out. He said yesterday that he was pressured to hide defects found in airline parts. These guys typically will go ahead and they'll take high-powered imaging, or maybe even just as simple as a magnifying glass and looking over components and parts to see if there's tiny cracks that are available after stress tests and things like that, and really going over the portions of the plane that will be in the air with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that after testing, under stress, the materials hold up. That's his job. And he's saying that, oh, yeah, they used to give me all sorts of shit because I would put the brakes on things and say, hey, there's something wrong here. We got to go back to the drawing board. This needs to be redone. Okay? He said that he was not surprised when the missing door bolts led to an entire 737 MAX door plug blowing out on an Alaska Airlines flight. You remember that one? That happened in January. We talked about it right here. We've been talking about it since it happened. That wasn't like just a freak accident. That was because they didn't have the right shit on there to keep the door in its place onto the actual fuselage. Why'd that happen? This is a quote from this dude, Santiago Paredes. Why'd that happen? Because Spirit let go of a defect that they overlooked because of the pressure that they put on the inspectors. Paredes said, if the culture was good, those issues would be addressed, but the culture is not good. He said he would see hundreds of defects in parts on a regular basis. He earned the nickname Showstopper from higher ups for how frequently he slowed production due to his inspections. Quote, they always made a fuss about why I was finding it and why I was looking at it, he said. They just wanted the product shipped out. They weren't focused on the consequences of shipping bad fuselages. So the fucking tube, the whole thing. He continued. They were just focused on meeting the quotas, meeting the schedule, meeting the budget. If the numbers look good, the state of the fuselages didn't really matter. Oh, my God. Following the incident, the Alaska Airlines incident, the Federal Aviation Administration grounded all similar 787 MAX aircraft and did a complete investigation of the company's parts, quality, and control infrastructure. Federal investigators said the company's safety culture was inadequate and confusing. Wow. After Paredes claimed that the Spirit management changed the defect protocol to encourage less reports, he said he was demoted. Quote, I felt I was being threatened and I felt I was being retaliated against for raising concerns, he said. He was reinstated to a leadership role after filing a complaint, but left the company shortly thereafter. He said he's still reticent about flying due to what he experienced at the Boeing subsidiary. Holy shit. Quote, he says, I'd never met a lot of people who were scared of flying until I worked at Spirit Aero Systems, he said. And then being at Spirit, I met a lot of people who were afraid of flying because they saw how they were building the fuselages. Spirit denied the allegations. I think we only need to look at the evidence of, how shit's flying off planes and people are turning up dead. Last month, a separate Boeing inspector turned whistleblower said the company absolutely has a culture of retaliation against inspectors. My God. Follow the money. There you go. The Satanic Temple is in the news. I'm not talking about the Satanic Temple of Michigan, of West Michigan, with our pal Bender Bones. This time around, it is the Satanic Temple of Massachusetts, who I'm probably guessing our pal Bender Bones is familiar with. And there's a connection to West Michigan here. I don't know what happened, but this guy here, wearing the Drummond Island t-shirt with Sasquatch on it. Drummond Island is a remote island, I believe, in Lake Michigan. Tourist destination. This guy from Newaygo decided that he would try to throw the investigators off the trail by sending a bomb, not to Satanic Temple of West Michigan, but to Satanic Temple of Massachusetts. And that's exactly what he did, accused of building bombs because he wanted to blow up the Satanic Temple in Massachusetts. He was indicted on charges that has him facing a decade in prison. Luke Isaac Terpstra, one of these whacked out Dutch fucks around here, accused of building several devices he characterized as bombs and then traveling from his home in Grant, Michigan to Salem, Massachusetts. With him, he carried an improvised explosive device, multiple firearms, and ammo, according to the indictment filed in GR just this week. A federal court hearing has been set for May 13th. So coming up next week, right here in GR. 30-year-old Terpstra assembled a container that had coins taped to the outside and a container that had rifle ammo secured to the sides. He made the drive from Michigan to Massachusetts back in September of 23. He later said he possessed the bombs because he said he wanted to blow up the Satanic Temple. I wonder if they actually have a building. My God. So where the Salem witch trials took place, they got some fucking whacked out Michigan idiot driving over. I mean, I guess he was going to drive up and plant the bomb on the premises. Or maybe he wanted to get close to the destination and mail it once he got close. I'm not sure. What it doesn't say, though, is how they tracked this down. The city of Salem and the Salem Police Department recognize that it is frightening and concerning that there are individuals who would threaten to carry out violent attacks against others based on their beliefs, and that we are a target. On the other hand, it is gratifying that our federal and local partners were able to thwart Terpstra. On the other, it is terrifying that he walked in our midst planning such violence. But yeah, it doesn't really say how they track this down. Part of me wonders, do you ever wonder if maybe you even type anything onto your machine, on your computer, if there actually is someone watching your every keystroke, waiting for the keywords, so that if you were to type out those words, immediately you've got eyes on you through the internet. And, you know, if that's true, and by the way, the noise you hear is Darla scratching my goddamn chair, and it's probably going to put a hole in it eventually. We get it, okay? If there is Big Brother watching us, so that if this idiot tries to look up how to build a bomb or whatever, and there's immediately people focused on him because of his internet searches to make sure that he's not up to no good, I'm here to say that if they are good, I support that. If that means less bad guys doing bad guy shit, I don't give a fuck what you look at on my computer. I mean, yes, you may be looking at me when I type hospice porn, but on an internet search, but at the same time, I'm not going to get in trouble for watching sexyhospice.com. And if a wacko tries to build a bomb, I want the government to know about it so that they can keep an eye on him and stop him. So I say yes to all types of surveillance. I welcome Big Brother, and I hope you do too. Kenny says, if you've downloaded spyware that's designed to do that from a malicious website somewhere, then yes, someone is watching. Well, when I say that, I want like government agencies, crime-fighting entities, making sure that the bad guys, people who are looking up kiddie porn and trying to hire looking for some infant sex or something like that to get busted, or someone who's doing something terrible to animals. I want all those people to be watched. Yes, absolutely. Sir Bob says, my son and I are taking a flight on a Boeing jet Sunday. We should be good, though. It's from when they knew how to build a plane. It's a B-29 Super Fortress. Oh, my God. How does one procure a seat on that? Patrick, here's a showstopper and thinks wrestling reference, Shawn Michaels. Alan writes, too many plane issues lately. I'm keeping my ass on the ground. Chris is no doubt done with his 26.2 today. Congratulations. I always had the hardest time with marathon distance. My body did not like it. I only did marathon distance if I absolutely had to do it. And I, to this day, and it'll never happen again, there was only one. I actually only completed 2 marathons in my life. One was with the Ironman, and the other one was the Detroit Marathon. Kenny says okay, he already said that. Never mind. But don't you have to put your browser in incognito mode, Bob says. Maybe. Patrick says, I think certain keywords will trigger surveillance based on what Snowden talked about. Chris describes his long runs as cheap therapy. Very cool. Okay, you've heard my dad talk about the story of when my grandfather, his dad, my dad witnessed his dad hold my uncle over his head when he was a little boy, going to throw him in the nearby river that they lived next to when they lived in Tehran, Iran. For all intents and purposes, what I've heard about my grandfather, none of it good. But that was back in the day. We're talking probably 1942, when people treated kids differently. And I'm sure culturally in Iran, it was even much different than what it was. Like, you might have a certain level of care that a kid could be treated with or not treated with in the U.S. in the 1940s. But in Iran in the 1940s, with my hot-headed grandpa, I think that he was quite a quite violent man. I know next to nothing about him, but I do know that he ran with some unsavory types and was eventually stabbed to death horribly. And before he died, there was an incident where he grabbed my Uncle Garo and was holding him up over his head like fucking King Kong and was going to throw him in the fucking river. And the local cops basically had to bring him down to keep him from murdering my uncle. He was unsuccessful. But this woman in India was very successful. Headline, mom accused of throwing 6-year-old son with disabilities into canal to be eaten by crocodiles. This is not a happy ending. The crocodiles did, in fact, do what that woman wanted them to do. Police in India have arrested the couple after recovering the partially eaten body of their 6-year-old son. Now, if you said that, if someone told you that, hey, cops in India and told you that, you could easily pull off, is he okay? Because nowhere did that headline say the child is dead. All it says is police have arrested a couple after recovering the partially eaten body of their 6-year-old son, whose mother is accused of throwing him into a canal known for having crocodiles. If anybody brought that up to you and you said, oh my God, is the kid okay? No, he's dead. Savitri Kumar and her husband, Ravi Kumar, were arrested on murder charges in connection with the incident. This happened on Saturday. And this isn't like some crazy website. People's reporting on it. It happened in a state of that country known as Karnataka, India. The boy, identified as Vinod Kumar, had a hearing and speech impediment. All right? So he couldn't hear a whole lot, and he didn't speak that well. Something went haywire, and the partially eaten body was recovered from the jaws of a crocodile the following day. This is horrible. On Saturday evening, following an altercation where the husband, Ravi, allegedly blamed his wife for having the child with disabilities. So Ravi went to Savitri and said, look, it's your fault that he doesn't hear well, and it's your fault that he doesn't speak well. Now, what a horrible thing to say and do. So the wife then responded by picking the kid up and threw him into the canal, which is connected to a river that is infested with crocodiles. The neighbors called the cops. And then after a brief search was carried out before it was halted for the night. Why would you halt it for the night? Do they not have lights? You got a 6-year-old that's just thrown in the river or the canal, and then the locals call the cops. Why don't the locals go out and try to, I don't know, maybe they didn't see it happen. Who knows? The search resumed the next day, and then cops found the little buddy's body basically gnawed together like a yak stick. The kid's hand was missing, like Chubb's, and then that's it. The kid was dead. The alligators like, we're not even going to eat the whole kid. Police allege Ravi the husband had been harassing the wife and demanding she throw the child away because of his disabilities. What the fuck? The wife says, my husband is responsible. He kept saying, let the child die. If my husband keeps repeating such things, how much torture could my son endure? But he kept repeatedly telling me to let the child die. She said, oh my God, this might be the most awful way to end a podcast that I have ever been a part of at any one point. I wish there was some kind of happy ending to this. Leave it to the chat to throw some horrible comments in there. Nick in the arena said the child obviously didn't swim too well either. Kenny says, well, she sure showed him. Oh, absolutely. She's like, yeah, go ahead, throw him in the river. She's like, all right, fuck you. I'll throw him right into the crocodile's mouth, you asshole. My God. Sarah says, throw the parents in. Chris says, somebody had to do it. Alan says they should throw her in there, psycho. And there it is, Chris with, is he okay? Adam says, Eric, did you know your Uncle Garo or your grandfather? I think his name was also Garo. No. Oh, I knew my uncle Garo for sure. But I did not know my grandfather. He was murdered when my dad was a child. That's what I was explaining. He was stabbed to death. Oh, but no, I definitely knew the rest of the family. They all live in a very, very large Armenian community in San Francisco. Uncle Garo has since passed away, but there was 3 of them. There was Garo, Ruben, and Gasia, which is my dad's younger sister. She's only 83, born on the exact same day as my father. And all these Armenians came to the U.S. in the 1970s. And there's a massive Armenian population in San Francisco area and in Glendale, California. So one pocket of them is in San Francisco. The other pocket of them is in Glendale. And they all sent their kids to Armenian school to keep the culture. So these kids are born, and then they immerse them in Armenian culture to keep that type of, to keep the culture intact. Not my dad, though. Nope. He gets here, and it's all like, yeah, hey, guy, Joe DiMaggio. Yeah. John Unitas, I'm American. Uncle Sam, guy. Hot dog, Budweiser beer. Like the least ethnic of all of them is my dad. That was so strange to me because when I was 7 years old, I traveled to San Francisco to meet these people for the first time. Now, I'm a white guy. I'm not an Armenian at that point. And I go walking into I remember we got off the airplane and the whole fucking family is there. I'm like, who are these weirdos? And they're like, they got little fucking finger cymbals and they're dancing a dance. One's got a tambourine and they have beads on their head and shit and fucking temporary tattoos on their forehead. I'm like, where the fuck am I? Who are these people? Come on, we dance, guy. Ruben, come. So my dad and my uncle, they sit around and drink ouzo till like 3 a.m. Let's go beat the shit out of your wife, guy. All right, let's go. Oh, my God. It was unbelievable. And then that happened again. In 2008, I traveled there again and took my kids there to see the Armenians. It's the same fucking thing. They have no idea what Armenian culture is like. We go over to my cousin Sarkis's house, and holy shit, same goddamn thing. It's like deja vu again. The first time that happened was 1977. That many years later, 2009 actually it was, is when we went back to see all these people. And they're all grown, old, you know. And my kids are like, what is happening? I go, well, this is the way it is. This is the way it is for most of my family. I'm the only honky in the bunch. These people barely speak English. That's like my dad's sister, Aunt Garcia. She's, like I said, she's 83. And the funniest fucking thing from that time, this exact trip that I'm mentioning in 2009, that was the time when Diana rescued that lady who drowned and pulled her out of the surf at the beach in San Francisco. So that happened, and it was on the news, and everybody was talking about it. I'm sharing the story with all these family members, a lot of them whom don't speak English that well. And one of them I'm talking to is my Aunt Garcia. And I'm telling her and them the story, and they're all getting it. And I go, so this lady was waiting in the water, like she was just kind of standing there waiting in the water, like you're WADING, waiting. And she has this confused look on her face. She goes, who's she wait for? Who's she wait for? And then my cousin Janet, who is the daughter of Aunt Garcia, goes, no. And she speaks in Armenian and says, no. Whatever word you use for waiting in the water. She thought that she was like standing around waiting for somebody to come see her. I'm like, no, you dumb fuck. God damn it. You lived here for like 40 years. How can you not know English? Jesus. Anyway. I don't know how the fuck I got onto that topic. I think it was somebody asked me a question. Yeah. Adam said, did you know your uncle or your grandfather? And that's how he went off on that tangent. Okay. That's it. Big Fraud Thursday starts in a few hours. I already sent the invite. Just click on the link to join the Zoom, and I'll see you then. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. And hello. Welcome to all of you to the Eric Zane Show podcast. The screen looks fuzzy. What the... Looks weird. Like maybe I hit a wrong button or something like that. It's all shitty looking. I have no idea. What do I know? Today is the first day that I have had. I finally, I broke down. You might hear a whirring noise in the background. It's definitely there, especially if I'm quiet. Like if I crank this up, that's the window air conditioner. 'Tis the season. I'm sitting in here doing my work, and then I noticed that my brain is kind of crispy, and then I'm like, and you know, a little warmer room, you know, and I'm like, oh my God, I feel like shit. It's all warm in here. I look at O'Neill. By the way, Darla's sleeping right now on that armrest. She's exhausted from this past weekend of running around being a hellraiser. So, and then I look at O'Neill, and he's like, if it gets above like 66 degrees outside and the sun is out, where I'm at in this house, we've talked about this for the last 5 years at this exact same time every year. It's hotter than the last train to Auschwitz in here. I'm telling you, it's bad. I know. Bad joke. Joke, nevertheless. I didn't mean anything by it. Don't be getting sensitive on me. So you're going to have to put up with that noise for like the next 6 months. So I hope it isn't too distracting as I try to continue on doing the Eric Zane Show podcast every day from this fantastic cobbled together studio of awesomeness. I am still awaiting my brand new console. I spent $2,000 on this piece of equipment. And the people who make it, it's the first of its kind. I'll even show it to you. It's called the Rave. Angry Audio Rave. Okay. This right, I know, okay. Well, if I share it with you, it's gonna be very underwhelming. But this right here is my console. Now, if I could share with you, it's the one I bought. If I could share with you what I'm using right now, you would just take a look at the poverty one. Well, the one I got here is the one okay, let me back up. When I started podcasting, even before I started podcasting, after I got fired from Freeburn Hot Wings, I bought this little piece of equipment here called a console, this little headphone amplifier, and a couple of these microphones. The microphones stink. It's what I use for my phone right now. This microphone itself, the one I'm talking into right now, costs more than all the other shit that I got when I first bought the podcast kit. And it came in one box. And so here I am, 10 days removed from getting fired from Freeburn Hot Wings. I got this podcasting equipment. I'm like, okay, I'm going to be a podcaster. I'm going to be a podcaster. Because my phone was not ringing about potential jobs here in Grand Rapids. Lo and behold, WBBL called. Okay, I start working there. And they said, we don't want you podcasting as a side job, though. Which, in hindsight, I should have said, well, fuck me. No, bullshit. I can podcast. What the fuck are you? You're not going to tell me what to do. Go fuck yourself. But it was that cocksucker Cartwright. So, I didn't podcast, and the shit sat in a box for 2 years, 9 months, while we toiled away on BBL. And then when I sent Ben home, the day that Ben and I got in that fight on the air in October of 18, I then was suspended for a week, and so was he. That was bad. I got to drink this. Stand by. It was at that point, because that was October of 18. I got fired in January of 19, so like 2-3 months later is when they fired us. In that time, during that week off, I set up the Patreon. I set up the audio platform for the podcast. I got the T-shirt sales. I built the website, and I said, just in case. And they welcomed us back, and I thought we were fine because we didn't have any further problems. But then they changed the format, so I had busted out all this old equipment. Now, when I got on with the new radio station, they said to me, "Go easy. We gotta update shit here." So they added on to it. But the one thing that didn't get added on was the console, the thing right here. And that's because this fucking thing they had it ready to go, and then they tested it, and there was some faulty issues with it that didn't pass the sniff test, so they recalled them all. Everybody had to send them back. This is before I even bought it. They got that fixed, and then they had to fix the ones they had and rebuild new ones. So, boy, this sounds horrible. This sounds like I'm going to get this thing delivered to me in less than a month finally, and then I'm going to plug it in, and smoke's going to come rolling off of it. You know how it is? Like first-generation products always suck dick. So I fully expect that to happen. However, despite that, according to people who know shit, I don't. I have buddies who also build shit like this for a living. And they said, Eric, go with this. This thing is awesome. Yes, it's first generation, but I trust these people, and if there's anything goes wrong, they'll take care of it. So I bought it. Now I wait. Stand by. The quicker that thing comes in, the quicker I can get rid of all of this shit. I got to get rid of the folding table, and I might even auction that off because this table has become part of the lore of the show. With the crease right down the middle, the awkward crease. Yeah, I'm going to turn shit around in here. I'm going to order a big fucking dinner table. The same one that Ryan tipped me off about. And then away we go with a new age of podcasting. As we approached 1,300 shows. Today is the 1,295th show. Chris says, holy new devil fart mic mixer. Jeremy says, speaking of free beer and hot wings, I just sent you a Kelly cheese noise. All right, this guy's on fire, and you can see at the top of my inbox, that's Jeremy's email right there. So he's on fire, and he sent me about 15 clips at the end of last week. And he is at an alarming rate becoming legendary. Let's listen to the new Kelly cheese noise. What? What? Come on. No. You've got to be kidding me. Man, that is bad. Maureen asks, what did you and Ben fight about? I don't know much about that part of your past, but it makes me sad to think about you guys fighting. Ben was upset at audience members who were dogging him about doing stand-up comedy. And I think he was referred to as a snowflake, and he was really in a horrible mood, and he was being a kind of a jerk. And I think it got so uncomfortable that I decided to take a break. And then during the break, we got into an argument, and I told him to go home, and I yelled at him. That was it. And then after about a week, they brought us back. We sat down, had a meeting, and we agreed to work it out, and it worked out. No big deal. That's that part of it. It did get weird later, too, when I thought we had put that behind us. And we can talk about it now because we get along very well now. But what happened was then we were fired in January. I started doing this. And then in March, he made a post to Facebook with, oh boy, it painted me as such an asshole. It was describing me as what do you call it? I don't want to say unsafe work environment, but harassing work environment or something like that. It was devastating. It was a really, really harsh accusation. And I had to send him, I sent him a cease and desist. It was an absolute mess. And then extended time passed, and then he reached out to me and said, "Hey, why don't we start over?" I go, "Yeah, all right, that's probably good." And we worked it out. So that was it. No big deal. Kenny says, "I thought it was on Reddit, not Facebook." Minor detail that is irrelevant. But yes, you're right. It was on Reddit. But the medium to which they read is, I don't know. It might be both. You got me. The point is, people read something that was upsetting. It was skywriting with a plane. He was pulling a sign with a plane, and then he did smoke screens. Indian smoke signals. That's what he did. And then people saw it and they got pissed off. Again, the devil's in the details. Doesn't matter. Maureen says, "I'm glad you kissed and made up." Oh, that was terrible. I was so upset I sounded like this. I can't wait to hear the context of that. Ugh. Jeremy says, "Oh, buddy, I have plenty of clips from today." Megan describes that as a laugh barf. Can you imagine how the noises she makes during sex? Yeah, hey, oh, you like that? Yeah, hey, yeah. No wonder why that guy's divorcing her. Bob says that needs to be made into a ringtone. Agreed. All right. Where are we on Tim Kuiper's fundraiser? Let's see. Okay. As of right now, I thought it was at like 750. How could it be 650 now? Up to $650. Wait a minute. Yeah, I don't know. All right, $650 in support of Zeke's recovery and family resilience. Thank you very much. Chris says, "Leave Kelly a pearl necklace, and that's what you get." Oh, my God. What, you mean this? You may have heard the story about how the airlines are being called out by the Biden administration. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg and Biden, they're like, "All right, it's time to reel in all these fees that you're charging passengers when they get aboard a plane or trying to fly on a plane. You spend like $600 to fly wherever. And then, you pay for your ticket and you get there and you've got, all these bag fees and handling fees and this fee and that fee." And that all started, if you remember, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I don't remember when the bag fee started. That was pre-pandemic, right? It was way before the pandemic when they started charging people for bags. And I think there were other fees that hit when it came to if you flew during the pandemic. God, there was something that brought on. No, it was 9/11. When I know there's a wide variance. Bag fees started right after 9/11 because the airline industry, if I remember correctly, was decimated when after 9/11, nobody wanted to fly. And eventually, I think they had government assistance to keep from a lot of them from going under. They then started charging bag fees to recoup the cost. Yep. And Jeremy says this, God, it's like we're twin brothers. He said the same thing. It all started after 9/11 to help airlines recoup costs because people weren't flying. God damn it. It's like you're reading my mind, you fuck. How did you do that? So yeah, that's what I remember now. And I'm glad you did too. But, whenever we have those mind melds, it makes me just want to shriek and scream and lose my mind. But then everybody started flying again, and those bag fees stayed the same. As Megan has dropped. Megan says the fundraiser now shows $825. Well, that is sweet. I don't know why mine's not saying that. Oh, no. Okay, I see 800. Mine's just slow to respond, I guess. I'll update it as we go. Thank you. But the bag fees never came off after the airlines, finally recovered and people started flying again. So the Biden administration finally, just recently, they're like, all right, this is bullshit. We cannot do this anymore. This has got to stop. Now the airlines are joining forces and they're suing the government. They filed suit against Biden and his administration over this. The Transportation Department, who implemented this, said Monday it will defend the rule to crack down on what it calls the hidden junk fees. So this lawsuit to block the Biden administration from doing this, all the Biden administration is trying to do is require greater transparency over fees that the airlines charge their passengers, saying that a new rule, this is ridiculous. The airlines are saying that this new rule would only confuse consumers by giving them too much information during the ticket buying process. Well, you know what? If that information that I'm getting has me saving more money and you not taking as much out of my pocket to fly, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to understand that language. I'm not that dense. If I could understand in the first place why you were taking it from me, I sure as fuck am going to be able to process and understand and not be confused about the processes that keep the money in my pocket, assholes. American, Delta, United, and 3 other carriers, along with their industry trade group, have sued the Transportation Department. They did this in appeals court on Friday, saying that the Transportation Department is going beyond its authority by attempting to regulate private business operations in a thriving marketplace. You're goddamn right it's a thriving marketplace. It's because of what you're charging. I mean, God forbid if they prevented you from gouging, because that's what this is. Similar to when you hear about businesses that gouge people during times of crisis and whatnot. This is similar to that. This is all just price gouging. That's what you've done with all these extra fees to fly. Come on now. Hang on a second. All right, Pooh Bear says it's brain break time before work. You see, she gets home from work now at about the time that I'm still podcasting. So that's, the latest thing. You got to have that brain break. That poor thing, she gets done working with the kids in the special ed classroom. And then she'll come here for like half an hour, take a brain break. And then she goes to work over at the YMCA. We just work. That's all we do around here is work. That's what you do. We get our asses out there and we grind, motherfucker. All right. Anyway, the airline said the administration hasn't shown that consumers cannot get information about fees already. Quote, airlines go to great lengths to make their customers knowledgeable about these fees. The ancillary fee rule by the Department of Transportation will greatly confuse consumers who will be inundated with information that will only serve to complicate the buying process. No, they're doing that so that consumers can make informed decisions as to how they can spend their money. The Transportation Department announced the new rule on April 24th that it would require airlines and travel agents to disclose upfront any charges for baggage, about canceling or changing a reservation. Airlines must show the fees on the first website page where they quote a price for the flight. So essentially what the Transportation Department is doing is they're not necessarily making the airlines stop charging you. They're just making it so that the airlines tell you when you buy your tickets what all the fees are, so that there are no surprises when you get to the ticket window, like in the terminal, and so that you can make an informed decision, because one airline might be different from the other airline, I guess. So it's not like the Transportation Department is wiping out bag fees. They're just making it a process that consumers can understand when they're actually making their purchases. That's it. That's ridiculous that they would sue over whether or not they give the consumers all of their fees up front. The Transportation Department, who were on the side of the Transportation Department in this one, the agency estimated that rule will save consumers more than $500 million a year. Aha! That's why the airlines are doing this. They're filing suit because they want $500 million. They say that they're suing the Transportation Department because they're worried about the consumers being confused. I don't think they're worried about us being confused. They just want their $500 million. Transportation Department says we will vigorously defend our rule protecting people from hidden junk fees and ensuring travelers can see the full price of a flight before they purchase a ticket. Many air travelers will be disappointed to learn that the airline lobby is suing to stop these common sense protections, the department said on Monday. Fuck, I take it a step further if I'm the Transportation Department and just make it illegal for those fuckers to charge us that shit. I don't think they can do that because it is a democracy. It's a free market. Free market solutions, guys. But I just found that to be hilarious that they are like, oh, yeah, we're going to sue because we don't want people confused. Oh, yeah, great. My God. Fundraiser update for the Kuipers family. I still see 800. That means we need roughly $700 by the end of the day. Now, I just made the free podcast available, so people are consuming that. And most of the people who listen to my show listen to the free audio podcast. So hopefully people will hear that. And tomorrow I'll be able to report that the goal that Tim put out of $1,500 has been met. Right now, the $800 or so that have been raised have been attributed to 14 donations. Okay, I know that within the sound of my voice, there are enough people that if you each gave $5, holy shit. Like right now, for example, on the Patreon, I have my usual handful ragtag group of people, 14, 15. If everybody threw in $5 on that deal, oh my God, that would make a huge bit of difference. So I will, let's see. Where is that? Where is my, oh my God. I'll include it here. Let me see if I can put it in here. Now I got to sign into chat. Hang on. I can do this. I think. Can I do this? Yeah. All right. Hold still. I'll chat on my own chat. There you go. Everybody, $5. Bullshit. That's a cup of coffee. Well, 2 cups of coffee. 1.5 cups of coffee. Chris, going back to the Ben story, Chris says Ben needed Zaytunian, but he got zaned. Oh, my God. I have some news to report on the gentleman who received the kidney transplant. Oops. Darla just fell off the thing. Did you guys see that? Are you okay? She's looking at me. She's not dead. I heard a thud. It just scared the shit out of me. My God, is she out like a light? Her eyes are open. Don't worry, she's not dead. Anyway, where was I? The guy who 2 months ago, March 16th, Rick Slayman is his name. Weird name. The first living recipient of a genetically modified pig kidney transplant. This was exciting news. What they've done, they've managed to, over time, modify pigs to have kidneys that have less of a chance to, well, more of a chance to help a person's life extend. And they put the pig kidney into the guy, Rick Slayman, and he had been going strong, and until today, because he's dead. And that's a bummer. He went 2 months. Rick Slayman has passed away. He made it the 2 months, but that's just terrible news because this was supposed to open the door for kidney transplants. However, the ones that are involved in this, the folks who did all the things necessary to make it happen, said that this is still a fantastic achievement. They have no indication that it was the result of the transplant, though. Mr. Slavin will be forever seen as a beacon of hope to countless transplant patients worldwide, and we are deeply grateful for his trust and willingness to advance the field of xenotransplantation, said the hospital. See, I want this to happen so that this becomes so regular and effective that all of the people at Gift of Life, Michigan will be out of work. All right, these are the people, if you remember, this is probably one of the most fucked up firings that has ever happened to me. I'm the media ambassador for them. I show up, I speak on the organization's behalf at fundraisers. I post about them. I go to the zoo to be part of Give Life Day, and I'm there being Eric Zaituni and doing my whole thing. And that piece of shit family in Muskegon got all pissed off when the chick died and they went to go take her organs, and they went, no, she doesn't want her organs taken. And Gift of Life says, well, no, it says here she filled out a donor card. No, she told us just before she died, don't let them take my organs. And everybody's like, yeah, that isn't what she said. That's a lie. Oh, no, she did. And then a judge ruled in favor of the fucking family, and then the fucking family put Gift of Life years behind by saying that they tried to steal the organs, and everybody was like pissed off at Gift of Life and canceling their organ donations on their behalf. It was really ugly. So I said that the family was a bunch of wackos, and then a month later, Gift of Life fires me because I said the family was a bunch of wackos. I was like, I was defending you, you fucking assholes. Are you fucking kidding me? So now I hate them. Now, fuck those guys. Okay? I still want you to donate your organs. But I was hoping that the pig thing would have worked out so that all the fucking cocksuckers over at Gift of Life would have been fired because we don't need them anymore. So I'm sad that the guy's dead, too. Don't get me wrong. But Gift of Life, what a bunch of assholes. My God. Kenny says, I backed up to see Darla. She kind of went paws first and then slid the rest of the way down. Didn't look too rough, so I probably sounded worse than it was. Yeah, I thought she landed on her back. Thank God. Thank you, Kenny. Kenny, you're excused from the $5. Okay, unless you go sell a couple Pokemon cards or something like that, you are excused. All right. Kenny says Jeremy says you inspired me to join the organ donor list. Thank you, buddy. He says, all right, Easy, I'm proud of you for giving up your kidney. What an incredibly selfless act. That was no big deal. Hang on a second. I can't figure out why this goddamn camera is all fucking fuzzy. It is so out of focus. No idea what's going on today. Looks like shit. Yeah, it's bad. That is a blurry image. Oh. Nick writes, I had emergency SXS purchase last week. All tapped out. Hey, that's okay. I don't know what that means, but I'll take your word for it. I'm not sure what an SXS means. All right. Where am I here? Okay, so we got done talking about the airlines trying to scam you. I have an update on the lady who was living in the family fair sign. In case you don't know, on the roof of the grocery store family fair, there's that peak there. There's an access door to it. She made her way into it somehow, and for a year, she lived there. And now, Family Fair is getting involved. After she was busted, they didn't arrest her or anything, but she had a coffee maker and a computer and a place to sleep. And she put flooring down. I'm not kidding you. She put flooring down. And she would every day go to work and then come home. So, what the fuck? Days after a woman was found living in the sign, the supermarket chain made a $10,000 donation to the Midland, Michigan Open Door Crisis Shelter and Soup Kitchen. Midland's Open Door wrote on Facebook that rising costs of living have caused many in the region to face hunger and homelessness for the first time in their lives. Thank you for loving our neighbors in need, Midland's Open Door wrote. The donation comes after Family Fair went viral on Thursday, May 9th, when a woman was living in the grocery store's sign. She had fashioned a desk, houseplant, computer, printer, Keurig, coffee maker, and food in the sign that looked over the store's parking lot. Contractors were working on the roof when they stumbled upon the unique housing situation. I guess the cops were banging on the door and she opened it and said, I'm leaving. Chicks in her mid-30s had been living in the sign for about a year. She was not employed by Family Fair. Family Fair's parent company, Spartan Nash, gave the following statement. We are proud of our associates for responding to this situation with the utmost compassion and professionalism. Ensuring there is ample, safe, affordable housing continues to be a widespread issue nationwide that our community needs to partner in solving. All right. That's great. Okay, now I want to do some easy math here. Okay? Let's say you're her. And let's just say for this argument, she's alone. She has no one to support, just her. Let's say she works at McDonald's from 4 a.m. doing breakfast and lunch. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's say she goes till 1. Did I say 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1? Okay. She goes 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. And they give her $12 an hour. It's $96 one day. And then she comes home, rests, and then she goes, 3 p.m. to 8 at a family fair. So 5 more hours for another $12 an hour. That's $60. So 96 plus 60 is 156. And let's say she's got no friends and she wants to work her ass off, so she goes 7 days a week for a full year because she really wants to put her nose to the grindstone. 1 year, I'm going to work as many days as I fucking can. That is $56,784. And she lives by herself. I honestly don't know how a person, unless they're crippled by disease, some type of injury, or some type of addiction, okay, that people cannot survive. There's probably a little bit more to it, but I just can't fathom. In this day and age, there's so many amazing ways to get fucking work that I just don't get how people can, just kind of roll over and die like that. It maybe if I've walked in their shoes, I might feel differently, but I'm a little bit disgusted sometimes with people. Jesus. Kenny says, when I got to 12, my brain started with the Ladybug Picnic song. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nick says, I'm not going to give $5 to Tim Kuipers as he struggles because his son is desperately sick in the hospital because he just blew a bunch of cash on a new side-by-side. What a loser. What an absolute disgrace that of a human being you are, Nick. Remind me to kick you right in the balls, you sick bastard, for that. That is my time. Thank you for being here. I love you guys. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye. All right, okay. I'm here, I'm queer. Welcome in to the Eric Zane Show podcast Patreon bonus. Thank you to BJ Adams, who may have been that person that was with us on the free podcast today. I forgot the name. Uncle Christian. I don't know. I'm just adding things up in my head because that's a new person who happened to come to us from the Who Are These Podcast universe to be part of this ragtag bunch of ruffians and hellions together to share in the joy of the spoken word from a man who feels like he has something to say. Today is Dog Bath Day. Madison got it. She's with us for the next few weeks. So she's in that weird phase where school is done. Before it was first couple of years of college, stays at school. College is fucking 15 miles away, but whatever. She stays there. And then comes home for the summer. But not this year, no. It's going to be live off campus. Or, I don't know. Not off campus. Yeah, I guess it would be off campus. But she's not living here, but the lease doesn't start for another week or so. So she's here in the house. So I think she's got a knack for cleaning because the other day she cleaned the kitchen and the laundry room. And I'm like, oh my God, you are awesome. You need to get paid to do this. And then today she wakes up. Of course, kids wake up, at noon at this age. So she wakes up at noon. I go, hey, honey, good morning. She goes, hey, I think I'm going to give the dogs a bath today. I go, okay. Because they smell. They need baths. I don't wash them as often as I should. Bruce, are you going ham on your paw? Or is that a treat? You are going ham on your paw. Anyway. So she gave Benny, the one-eyed wonder dog, a bath. Then Bruce just got one. He's all pissed off. And then now Darla's getting one. She's probably going to come in here and drop Darla off. And then O'Neill's going to get one. Holy shit. How much are you in debt to the IRS because of her? She needs to clean the entire house, man. LOL. Numerous times over. No, without a doubt. Without a doubt. But I think that's a parental duty. When I remember years ago, when it was time to start actually like living like an adult and try to save some money, I'm like, all right, I'm doing this for three things: weddings, college, and when I get old. That's it. And I think that's most people. I'm not in debt to the IRS. I've paid my bills. She's in debt to me. You know, you'll drive yourself nuts if you start to think about things like that. Like if a parent or a person, let's say Ben Glaze, he's in this spot right now where he's, getting ready to take the next step in his life with marriage, and then kids, and he's like, oh, well, I just got to look at the dollars and cents. I can only afford one. It's like, bullshit. You figure it out as you go. Don't ever try to do the math about how much you'll spend in baby formula and diapers and shit like that. Just keep your head down and earn as much as you can and pay. And then when it's time to stop paying for diapers, you take that money that you were paying for the diapers. Let's just say you're spending $40 a week in diapers. Okay? And you're spending $200 a month in formula, plus another $1,000 in daycare. And that's cheap. Let's do some easy math. 1,000 plus 160 in diapers, plus 200, and that's on the low end of formula. That's $1,360, and you work your ass off to get to that. And you're like, oh, God, we're barely making ends meet. We're just barely above water. But then that ends. You take that $1,360 and you start sucking that shit away. Don't spend it, for God's sake. Save it. That's instantly found money after a certain amount of time. Kenny says, my oldest daughter has cost me so much money being over 18 than before. Maureen says, truth, Kenny. Amy says, moral of the story, don't have kids. LOL. No, you have to. You have to have kids. Because at the end of the line, you got to have someone take care of you. And hold on. Oh, Bruce, come on, man. Quit. And I made that deal with my kids. I go, look, you got to take care of me. That's all I care about. I got to live at your place. I just had a conversation with Joanne. I said, Joanne, it was because it was Mother's Day. And I said, look, darling, are you overwhelmed where you can't take care of my dad? I mean, you're 88 years old. Are you okay? I'm asking you, are you okay? She says, yes, I'm making it right now. I go, look, I know that parents oftentimes have this idea or thought that they, quote, don't want to be a burden to their kids. And I'm trying to convey to Dad and Joanne, be a burden. That's what we're here for. You got to get that notion out of your head that you are a burden. So there is no shame in saying, yeah, I would like to be able to relax a little bit. At 88, you shouldn't be grinding your fingers to the bone taking care of your significant other. If you have the help, utilize it. I go, Joanne, I'm not even going to lie to you. We've got the room here. You should live here. And she goes, well, she's hemming and hawing. I go, we've got plenty. I mean, seriously. And I already know what I would do. I would put them on the main level, move the NFK out of the main level, or I'd put my dad and Joanne on the upstairs. Either way, no matter who is up there, I'm going to install one of those escalators. They're awesome. They attach, there's like a track that they install right along the banister with a seat, and you sit down and you strap in like you're at Cedar Point. You hit a fucking button, takes you right up the steps. Boom, done. I'll install one down into the basement too. So we've got fucking escalators. It's like goddamn Macy's here. So that would be, in my opinion, the absolute best to have them here. And I'm like, look, let me wait on you. It's all good. This is the nucleus of the operation. This room, this table, where I'm seated right here. This is where it all goes down. And then I talk about you on the podcast so that people will take care of their elderly family members when they get of age. And that's how you do this shit. And it's temporary because they're going to croak in a few years, if that. So I'm like, Joanne, it'd be so much easier if you guys just wake up. Here we are. We're together. You don't have to worry about him. You don't have, you're not alone in case something goes wrong. You have the infrastructure already built into place. Come on. Bring it along, darling. You can do it. Come on. So I'm starting to lean on her now. Each conversation, a little bit more of this discussion, trying to convince her to move in. Yeah, I'm all about it. Adam says the stories we would get, how long before Meathead would say something to the NFK? Oh, without a doubt. Chris says, don't do the math. Next seconds. Let's do some easy math. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here. Just my brain's going in 5 directions all the time. Patrick says, hot tubs, escalators. Helipad, maybe. I don't know about that. But anyway, I said, Joanne. She goes, no, I'm fine right now. I go, well, you got to tell me. When you get to that point, I need to know these things. Because whether it's over here or whether it's over at Jim and Sue's or whether it's at Charity Scam Mike's, you know, utilize this. You know? And I hope you do the same for your elderly family members. Okay, where was I? What was I going to say? I wish we had insisted on more help for my dad when my mom declined, but he was so stubborn. One day I reached my limit and said, this is it. We cannot do this anymore. Wait a minute, what are you saying? Were you like, Dad, we're not going to help you? Or Dad, we're insisting that we help you? So, wait a minute. So Dad was stubborn and said, I don't want your help. And you didn't insist enough? I don't know. Oh, hi. How's she doing? This camera's on. They can't see you right now because of the way the camera is, which you probably like. Okay, call O'Neill.
Can I take a break and eat something?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So how was she?
She was okay, and then when I got her out to dry her, she thought it was playtime. So now
Oh,
she thinks
dear.
it's playtime.
Okay, here she comes.
Okay, I love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
3 dogs bathed. 3. No, Mom went into a nursing home at that point. She needed more than we could provide. I see. I understand. All right. Well, that's my 2 cents about the whole thing. Kenny says Maddie hates us. No, she's just where Jackie is not camera shy, and Jackie wants to be here all the time. Madison is the opposite. Okay, so there's a brawl breaking out behind me. And we can't have that. Stop. Hey. She's actually chewing his ear. Come here. Stop. Stu would just scream at the dog. Look at it. As soon as I turn my back, look what she did. You see that? Did you see what she just did? Excuse me. Hey. No. Stop. Ah. Stop. Stop. Come on, she's going to go right back to it as soon as I turn around. What an asshole. Darla, I mean it. Okay, if this keeps up, I got to separate them. All right. Kenny says, no, I'm just joking. No. Seriously, she does hate you. I'm kidding. All right. So, if you remember, Louis C.K. got canceled. The comedian Louis C.K. The reason why his cancellation occurred was, I believe, he'd invite friends over, like a friend might be a female comic, and then he would say, "Hey, do you mind if I beat off in front of you?" And then we're like, "Wait, what?" And then he goes, "Yeah, you don't mind." And then he would remove his dong, and then he would masturbate all the way till he was done, till he would actually have an orgasm in front of people. And then that would be it. He did this more than once. And then this came up, and a group of people said, yeah, that all happened. And then everybody said, all right, well, we can't be hanging out with Louis C.K. That's fucking horrible. And he lost a couple of gigs, and he went away for a period of time. And then after a while, he started doing comedy again. But he's never really got on track. Now, imagine if someone you knew did that. I mean, imagine if, it came to light that I was doing that exact same thing to young members of the radio station staff or the hockey team staff. I mean, you would be like so skeezed out, and I don't think that would be a very good move, and I think that people would hate me for that. And I could understand that. But Bill Maher and Bill Burr had a conversation, and they are saying that everybody should welcome Louis C.K. back with open arms. And I think they're fucking crazy. Holy shit. Look at these two. Let's listen to what these assholes have to say.
You have a big future in filmmaking, very much like Louis C.K., but, without
Yeah, but Louis just making movies on his own.
I know.
Did you see that one?
I loved it.
That 4th of July with Joe Lift?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
I mean, don't get me started on that, but isn't it time everyone just went, okay, it wasn't a cool thing to do, but it's been long enough, and welcome back to the world.
You took $50 million from him. I think they punished him.
Enough.
Who did? I can't believe this conversation is even happening. These two fucking slappies are saying, yeah, let's throw some muscle behind Louis C.K. Fuck Louis C.K.
For Christ's sake, it's not the end of the world. People have done so much more worse things and gotten less. There's no rhyme or reason to the Me Too type punishments.
Well, it's like most things. It started off.
Yeah, just like there's no rhyme or reason to when a guy whips out his cock and just starts jacking it right in front of you.
With something everyone could agree on, and then quickly it just spun out of. I remember whenever that cancel culture got to the point of where it was, I don't like some of the topics in your stand-up act.
Right.
Yeah, that's when it got weird. But that's all over. It's all over. That's
what's over.
It's over. The fuck it's over. Are you telling me that if you do something like that, you can get away with it? I look at people like Louis C.K. who jacks his cock in front of chicks, unsuspecting when they don't agree to him doing that, and him getting canceled. Of course he gets canceled. What do you think is going to happen? They're going to give him a pay raise?
Cancel culture?
Yeah, no one cares anymore.
That's such bullshit. Everybody still cares.
so not true. Either one of us could get canceled in the next 2 minutes.
Thank you. At least Mars not a retard. Burr's just fucking retarded. That is a retarded fuck right there.
For what?
For what?
Doing anything? It was just like you did this joke about, this group of people or that group of people. And
Well, do it, Bill. Do it in your act. Test it out. Say something about various groups of people. See what happens. Smart guy.
I decided to. I don't know. I feel like I'm going back 2 years of my life.
mean,
Like I don't.
This is a stupid man. He's stupid.
I don't even think about it anymore.
Yeah, you didn't say anything there. What a fucking asshole. I am so over that. If you're over cancel culture, I'm over you. What an asshole. Jesus Christ. What a horrible, horrible opinion. Yeah, it's time to welcome these people back. Holy shit. My God. Maureen writes, how does any man think that's an okay thing to do? Jeremy writes, Louis' joke about it was really funny, though. We all have kinks. Most of them are private. Not mine. Barack Obama knows my kink. Well, good. I'm glad he joked about it. That doesn't mean people have to be forced to like you. Rob says, I saw Louis C.K. perform at Wells Fargo Center in Philly. Place was sold out. Now, lucky he could fill the Comedy Cellar in NYC. Well, there you go. So, all those individual people, they can choose to buy tickets or not. Okay? He knows what his audience is. If he decided to try to get a gig, let's say he did book a giant room and 80 people bought tickets. Are all those people that didn't buy tickets, are they wrong? Just because the 80 people don't have a problem with you jacking your dick in front of people unsuspecting doesn't mean that the rest of the world should jump on board. Darla's now in a fight with herself behind me. Rob says, it's been long enough for shoe bomber Richard Reed. Let's let him out of prison. It's been long enough. Kenny says, Bill Burr was a great fake inspector in Breaking Bad, though. Oh, absolutely. Nick says, I guarantee Bill Maher is 3 times creepier than Louis C.K. Well, maybe. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I don't know. But now, fuck that shit. It's gone on long enough. We gotta cancel culture's over. What a dumb thing to say. It's bigger than ever. My God. Kenny says Bill Burr's coming to Nashville and it's set for the Bridgestone Arena. How the hell does he expect to fill that place? I just don't see that happening. No, I don't either. There's only, you got Kevin Hart, Chappelle maybe. I know guys like Bert Kreischer are playing like 10, 11,000 seat hockey stadiums. Tom Segura can fill a room like that, but I don't know if they can fill like a Bridgestone Arena. That's like 20,000 plus people. Look at Darla. Look at her. She's just laying there on her fucking back. She's got it made. Yeah, that is all bullshit. The latest Michigan piece of shit. This guy might just be fucking crackers. I don't know. A man has pleaded no contest. Well, he was spending all his time going to the Michigan.gov website, and they've got like a little, hey, leave your comment for the governor. And Jason Tolinen, a 51-year-old man from Westland, Michigan, that's near Detroit on the west side. Westland. Would go in there, and when, that's the spot where you write, hey, Mrs. Governor, would you consider redoing the bridges in Westland or whatever, make a suggestion about governing. Basically, they go nowhere. Those messages, they just go into a folder, and then one person goes and just empties it. So you could be on there and you say, yeah, I have $15 billion I just inherited that I want to give to the state of Michigan. And you send it, the information via that way. You will get no response. The only time that you'll get a response is if you do like this guy and threaten to assassinate the governor. That's exactly what Jason Tolinen did. The inbox filled up and some intern went in and said, all right. Oh my God, we've got all the same different messages, thousands of messages from this guy back in 2023. We got to go do something. Michigan State Police searched his home in November of 23 after he threatened to assassinate the governor. He then admitted to sending the messages. They said, all right, knock it off. No more. No more of this shit. He stopped. That was November of 2023. Then he waited 3 months. And he started again. The Attorney General for Michigan is Dana Nessel. She said, all right, fucker. You see, Nessel and Whitmer, I think they 69. And I would pay to see that because they're both hot. Nessel is a homosexual. And Whitmer is not, but, you know, all chicks are a little bit lesy. Anyway, the AG's office said that the guy would be required to go to Alcoholics Anonymous meetings and not to make repeated unwanted contact with any individual, business, or government entity. He also has to do mental health and substance abuse evaluations. This is all part of a plea because he was arrested. And the plea happened just the other day right here in beautiful Grand Rapids, Michigan. He'll be sentenced June 12th for all of this. Now, I always love that when some guy who's a drunk fuck and does stupid shit, part of the requirements are go to Alcoholics Anonymous. And if you're a member of AA or you run a meeting or anything like that, you can always pick out who the losers are who have no desire whatsoever in actually turning their life around. That they're there because the court made them go. And I kind of wish that AA would put their fucking foot down and quit being a goddamn pawn in all of this so that when someone shows up there and usually they come with paperwork and the person who's running the meeting has to sign the paperwork that this piece of shit was here. And then he sits there. He doesn't participate in the meeting. And then, because you go around the fucking room and say, hey, how you doing? I'm Eric. I'm an alcoholic. Hey, Eric. And then I will either say, well, I want to talk about this, or, hey, I just don't, I'm going to just listen today. These guys, they do that. They never participate. They never add anything to it to assist it. They're not helping themselves. They're just fucking losers. They're just playing out the string. This does nothing for them. And then they go and they kill a family or they threaten somebody and somebody dies. It's such bullshit that AA has to put up with this shit with these losers who basically just waste everyone's time in a goddamn meeting. All right. That's enough of that. What else did I have for you? Oh, my God. So in area right around Kalamazoo, Michigan, Portage is a community. Portage is right by Kalamazoo, Michigan, directly south from where I live by about, I don't know, 40, 50 miles. It got hammered with tornadoes the other day. I believe it was it 600 or 60 buildings destroyed. No deaths, amazingly. Remarkable. Nobody died in the tornadoes. And now there is a local business that is collecting donations to help people get back on their feet. And it's this type of spirit that lifts up communities. You got to love this. As the local strip club, Deja Vu Showgirls, is the first business to collect donations after the tornado. They could call it Titties for the Cities. I thought that one up yesterday. Get it? Titties for Cities? Yeah. Deja Vu Showgirls collecting donated items that include men's socks, men's underwear, t-shirts, pants, toiletries, and personal hygiene items. Why are they collecting men's socks? I don't know, but in my mind, when it says the local strip club is collecting men's socks, I picture their customers running around nude, jerking it like Louis C.K. while wearing just socks. That's a bad look. A lot of areas were devastated by the tornadoes. General Manager Holly Johnson said in a news release, "We are collecting items to benefit the residents of Pavilion Estates." I don't know. A lot of people have been donating diapers, wipes, and toys for kids. While those donations, I was expecting the next line to be, while we use those wipes to clean up jizz, we will be actually sending them off to people who deserve them. We are in dire need of donations for men. We understand that women and children come first, but we can't leave our men behind, especially those working diligently on the front lines to bring back a sense of normalcy. Guests who bring in donations will get free admission to the club. There you go. Wow. So they're doing it to raise some funds. How nice is that? Rob, Blue State Rob says Ashley could be the spokesperson for Titties for Cities. A lot of long-winded comments on here. That's all good. I want to check some of these out. Jeremy says comedians say, quote, "You can't take a joke about anything anymore. But look at the roast of Tom Brady. Tons of brutal jokes. Nobody's mad at anyone involved." Oh, exactly. I say whatever the fuck I want on here and nobody seems to mind. Give me a break. Rob says Kevin Hart is the only name of any stand-up comedian these days that we can confidently say for sure could sell out in NHL, NBA arena for sure. Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. Stevie says I emailed her and got an actual letter back from her office. Sarah Rook Rock Roosh says I left a message about unemployment and received a phone call and then a deposit shortly after waiting over a year. Jeremy says if you haven't seen the picture of the FedEx warehouse that got hit, go look at it. It's wild. I did see that. It was just destroyed. Well, don't worry. The strip club is doing lap dances to help out. My God. Chappelle could probably sell out that arena. I don't know. I don't know about that. I think it's possible, but I don't think Chappelle does gigantic rooms like that. I don't think he's attempted that. And his comedy, a lot of people don't like Chappelle's comedy. I find it to be incredible. I'm the guy that at the Chappelle show would just sit there in awe and watch him and wouldn't even laugh because I'm so enthralled with how he does what he does, how he speaks. I could listen to Dave Chappelle just talk about a serious topic and not be funny, and I would be entertained by it. I mean, he's so good. I love that man. And I love you, too. Thank you for being here at 2 p.m. Eastern. In 48 minutes, I will be on with Christian Blatt for Who Are These Broadcasters? Thank you for your time in this one. You can find Who Are These Broadcasters on the Who Are These Podcasts YouTube channel. Kevin Kuiper says, Kill Tony sold out Madison Square Garden multiple nights. Wow, there you go. Tony Hinchcliffe, he's fantastic. Thanks again, folks. I appreciate you. Bye-bye.